right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the LaPorte County Complex. My name is Drew White. I'm the Director of Operations for Access LaPorte County. I want to say hello to everybody watching us on Channel 97 and at our website at www.accesslaportecounty.org. This is the first of 3 events that will be co-hosted by Access LaPorte County and the League of Women Voters of LaPorte County over the next 3 weeks. Next week, we will be at City Hall in Michigan City, and on Wednesday, October 18th, we will be at the Long Beach Community Center for the 3rd and final candidates forums. Tonight, LaPorte is taking center stage. We have candidates for LaPorte City Council, LaPorte Mayor, both here to introduce themselves and take a few questions from the League of Women Voters. One thing that I do want to do real quick with a few seconds here, I want to encourage all candidates and all voters to utilize vote411.org. Vote411.org is a online voters guide sponsored by the League of Women Voters. It is a free and unedited resource, and it is such a valuable resource, not just for candidates, but also for voters. We have had a very strong start to the candidates that have participated in Vote 411, and it is not too late. One of my ultimate goals in my position is to try in one of these elections to get 100% participation, and we are ahead of where we have been during the previous 3 elections that I have been a part of, and I'm very excited about that. I do know that I'm in here in LaPorte, and if there's one thing that I know that slicers don't like to do is lose to Michigan City. And I just want to point out that 43% of Michigan City candidates for city council and mayor have filled out their Vote 411 profiles. LaPorte is at 23%. So one of my personal challenges to you guys, make sure that you fill out those Vote 411 profiles, even if you are unopposed. It is very important to let your constituents know who they are putting into office. So I want to make sure, please participate in Vote 411 and allow the voters to have the best chance to get to know the people that they are voting into office. But with all of that, you've heard enough from me. I want to introduce, pinch hitting for Bonnie Schaff this evening is Linda Lancaster, and she's going to take us home. Linda, thank you.
Let's try that. How about that? Yeah. I'm the Vice President of the League of Women Voters for LaPorte County, and I'm going to have to read everything because I don't want to miss anything. So we welcome you on behalf of the board of membership, and we welcome the candidates. Thank you so much for coming, and we thank the audience members especially for coming tonight too. The League of Women Voters for LaPorte County is a nonpartisan organization which does not support or oppose any political party or candidate. We encourage informed and active participation in government. We study and advocate for the public policies. We reach out to the public with civic education programs, a monthly lunch, and dinner meetings with community leaders. We engage voters through candidate forums like this one, voter registration drives, and with our online voters guide, Vote 411, which just went live today. So thank you very much for everyone who sent in your answers, and it'll be open all the way through election. We welcome women and men who want to assure that democracy works for everyone. Be sure to check out our Vote 411. It's up on the screen right there. Here you can apply to register to vote. Make sure that you are registered. I know I got a notice because I didn't participate in the primaries. I got a notice that I was going to be wiped out, so make sure you are registered. You can find out where your polling place is and directions to it, what you need to bring to vote, and how to apply for an absentee ballot. You can preview what's on your ballot at Vote 411, and you can read the survey questions which the candidates have answered and compare their answers. If you find that some of the candidates on your ballot have not answered the Vote 411 survey, encourage them to do so. It has some important election dates to remember. First, next Tuesday is the last day to register. That's October 10th. Wednesday 11th is the first day of early voting. Thursday, October 26th is the deadline to submit your vote by mail. Early voting, October 11th through November 6th, is available in 2 locations in LaPorte County, at LaPorte Street Community Church and 209 State Street, and also at 302 West 8th Street in Michigan City at the corner of 8th Street and Wabash Street. Monday through Friday, October 11th to November 3rd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays, October 28th and November 4th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And mobile voting will be used beginning October 11th. Locations and dates are posted on the election board site at LaPorte.in.gov. And be sure to take your state-issued ID with you, or your passport or military ID with you when you go to vote. In case you're turned away and not allowed to vote, we suggest that you contact the Election Protection Hotline at 866-OUR-VOTE. Please make sure you vote. By voting, you participate in the democratic process. The right to vote is the most enshrined right in the Constitution and is protected by 5 separate amendments. Whatever you do, make sure you vote. We want to thank the candidates who are with us tonight. A few of them were unable to attend due to work and other commitments. So here are the rules for the forum are as follows. The moderator and screeners will determine the order of the presentations, and there was a schedule when you came in. That's the order that we're going to follow. Candidates will be given 2 minutes for an opening statement, 1 minute to answer each question from the audience, and 1 minute for closing remarks. In the interest of time, the number of questions for the candidate may be limited. A candidate who is unopposed or whose opponent is not present will not be asked questions. The timer is sitting in the back row if you want to. He's sitting right there. He'll hold up a yellow card when you have 15-second warning, and a red card when the candidate's time is up and you need to finish your statement. If you keep going, he's going to ding you with a bell, okay? Only written questions screened by the League Voter Services Committee, which is right over here, will be accepted. Press releases about this forum invited members of the public to submit written questions in advance by sending them to the League's email address, and we accept those questions from the audience members who are present tonight. League members have index cards and pencils for audience members to use. He's holding them up there. If you want to write down a question, and then he'll come by and pick it up and hand it off to the screeners here. The League expects courtesy to be shown to everyone. The League will not allow personal attacks, yelling, name-calling, or showing disrespect, and will interrupt or stop the candidate if needed while the clock is ticking. No outbursts or disruptions are allowed from audience members, or they will be asked to leave. Please remember this is a forum and not a debate. No visual aids will be permitted, and the candidates may not display any campaign materials here tonight. Audience members, please submit your questions at any time, including while the candidates are giving their opening statements and answering questions. So with that, we're ready to start. If we could have the council at-large council members up on the dais. Okay. If I butcher your name, please correct me. I'm very sorry.
You must be talking to me.
No, actually, I'm talking to everybody. Okay. Laura is not there. What did they do? Oh, sorry about that. If you just want to go ahead and start making your 2-minute opening statement, let's start with Susan. If you could say your last name for me, please. I'm sorry.
Antoshevsky.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Susan Antoshevsky. I am running for City Council at Large here in LaPorte. I am a lifelong resident of LaPorte County. I've been in LaPorte itself for nearly 15 years now. My past experience with quasi-government, public partnership, public-private partnership with government. I have worked for the Valpo Chamber, where I've spent nearly a decade as marketing and publications managing editor and staff liaison to the Leadership Academy. which is a program that prepares, challenges, and engages emerging and existing leaders to strengthen the community at large. I also had a daily hand in helping small business and nonprofits grow through positive programming and networking. Sorry, I need to take a breath. Nervous up here. Also, through the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, I earned my IOM, which is a recognition of the Institute of Organizational Management Program. And currently, I serve as the Director of Customer Experience at a private large format printer in Valpo. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, too. Now, if we could hear from Frank, or sorry, Timothy Frank.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Tim Franke, and I am the current president of the City Council in LaPorte. First off, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for putting this forum on. It's always a great opportunity for us candidates to be heard and answer any questions you may have. I am a father of 3 small kids, getting bigger, but that's the reason I wanted to do this in the first place. I think LaPorte has potential to be even better than it is, and I'm just trying to put my best foot forward. Excuse me. Sorry, I got something in my throat. In LaPorte, I'm a small business owner, and I've always treated running the city as I do running a business. I think it's important to be fiscally responsible, and we all have our wants and desires, but we also have a budget, and it's important to live within that budget, and equally important, it's important to grow that budget. So we've been focused on building a community that people want to live in, and I'm proud of our efforts thus far, and I hope to continue it.
Thank you, Mr. Franke. And now, Ms. Glenders Noe. Thank you.
Yes, and I would also extend my thanks and appreciation to you guys, the League of Women Voters. Whoops, there we go. The green light is now on. All right. My name is Kim Glenders Noe, and I'm a Democratic candidate for LaPorte City Council at large. I'm a second-generation, lifelong LaPortean who graduated from LaPorte High School and went on to receive my bachelor's degree from Purdue University in West Lafayette. After graduation, I returned to LaPorte, where I have raised my 2 daughters, Sarah and Megan. Sarah lives in LaPorte, and she is a published author and artist, and Megan lives in Indianapolis, and she is a CPA. I'm a former local business owner, former director of the American Red Cross, and I previously worked in the accounting department at the Swanson Center. I currently work for LaPorte Community School Corporation as a school bus driver, and additionally I work for LaPorte Parks and Recreation Department, helping to maintain our beautiful city. My many passions include my 4 dogs and 3 cats, maintaining my landscape and vegetable gardens, upcycling abandoned furniture, health and fitness as a 20-year aerobics instructor, and I actively work to improve the LaPorte community through community involvement, recycling, and litter control. I've been referred to as a crazy lady who talks to the trees and the dogs in the parks. I ride my bike whenever I can, and between that and my school bus route, I have a first-hand view of the good things and the things that I feel need improvement here in our community. Honesty, integrity, responsibility, transparency, and representation are all key in everything I do, and I intend to carry that forward if I am chosen to represent the people of our community in this beautiful city of LaPorte. Thank you.
Very much. Now, Ms. Noe, we'll start with you. And what do you consider your major qualifications for this office?
My past experience as director of the Red Cross, my current experience with Park and Recreation and the community. I'm obviously very actively involved with the community and the school corporation. For our kids, I'm the first face of the school corporation they see every morning and the last one they see when they get off the bus before they go home. Take that very seriously. The fact that I have lived here my entire life, my father was born and raised here, my mother moved here when she was 5. I have an uncle who was a city police officer, and my grandfather was a pioneer state trooper. All of these things are what shaped me into the person that I am today, and for the love of this community and making sure that it continues on as it should.
Thank you. Mr. Franke, same question. What do you consider your major qualifications for this office?
Well, I think the obvious one is my 3.5 years of experience in the office, but again, going back to being a business owner and understanding how to live within your means, and you can't just do everything you want or build everything you want because you'll run out of money real quick that way. So, using my business background to run the city and make decisions that reflect that budget and living within it personally have guided me throughout.
Thank you. Ms. Antoniewski, the same question. What do you consider your major qualifications for this office?
I do consider my past experience at the chamber, Valpo Chamber, with the public partnership, public-private partnership between just the city. I also was part of my job was actually handled. I did a little bit of Valparaiso Economic Development Corporation, and the Valpo Chamber was both my where my position came from. So I think that experience there, and overall, just the will to, my passion is that the underrepresented are represented. And we have a city of 22,000 people, give or take, and I think they really should have a voice, and I think they should have an ear also. So my qualifications are, I just want to be helpful for every LaPortean to have a better every day.
Thank you. Mr. Frankie, what is your vision of the future of LaPorte?
My vision is a cleaner, more walkable and bicyclable LaPorte. Those are important to me, and again, I'd love to say we redid every sidewalk in the last 3.5 years, but we don't have the money, so we do what we can with the money we have. But that's a major focus, and I think growing it, in terms of attracting high-quality businesses that are going to pay people a good wage that they can raise a family on is going to help us attract people and help us grow. If you look at the city in my lifetime, 4 decades, it's pretty much the same as it has been, aside from the last 3.5 years. I might be biased there, but I just think that we have such a beautiful community, and I want to help nurture that and grow it.
Thank you. Ms. Antoniewski, the same question. What is your vision for the future of LaPorte?
A good balance. While I feel growth is wonderful, because get the growth, you get your tax base, it just is a nice cycle. But I also believe that you also need to invest and maintain in the assets you have, and they're just, while I understand not everything can be taken care of at all times, there needs to be a nice balance.
Thank you. And Ms. Noe, the same question. What is your vision for the future of LaPorte?
I share with Susan that we need to have a nice balance, and while I also agree we need to be bringing in new business, we need to be upgrading, but when we can't seem to maintain our infrastructure, and trust me, I drive a school bus on these roads, I know how bad they are. I'm afraid that there might be some really good businesses out there that maybe won't take that second glance at us if our infrastructure is not kept up with. So keeping that balance is key, and listening to our constituents and the people in this community for what they want and what they need, and keeping that in focus as well as what we need to do to bring in the good business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this will be the last question, and we'll start with Ms. Noe. What are your top 3 priorities that can be addressed from your office?
Top 3 priorities from this office would be taking a look and analyzing and making a priority to the areas that need the upgrades first. And that includes listening to the people that are out there, letting them speak publicly, listening to them, and incorporating that into what our vision is and what we're able to accomplish.
Thank you. Mr. Frankie, the same question. What are your top 3 priorities that can be addressed from your office?
Sure. Number 1 for me is infrastructure, and To my colleague's point, on balance, that is absolutely critical. And when you have $100 million in needed just wastewater and water work alone that's been neglected for over 100 years in some parts of our city, addressing that is critical. We've committed to fixing $50 million worth of that, but continuing on in fixing those lines. The water is kind of like a new roof. Nobody ever compliments you on it, but it's something that's critically important. Of course, doing as much as we can with roads is always important also. But number two is attracting new businesses. If you look at inflation, and I don't think a livable wage is easily found at a fast food chain nowadays, or really a lot of jobs. We need to attract bigger businesses that are going to come in and offer a high-paying job. And lastly, it's quality of life. So continuing to improve our parks. We have one of the best park systems, in my opinion, in the world. And I'm out of time, but that's it.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Antonuski, what are your top 3 priorities that can be addressed from your office?
Mine all go towards the actual residents. I think transparency is key of what goes on in city government versus if it's policy, if it's projects that are coming up. I think it should be out there to where you don't necessarily have to search for it, that you can maybe go to the city website and see everything they're doing. Communication, that get it out to the city. If you see, if something's coming and it's going to affect a certain neighborhood or area, go to those people, see if they have any concerns, bring it back, get their questions answered, whatever, to help integrate policy projects into the city. And then lastly is just true representation. You have to get with your citizens to see what they want, how they feel, how your decisions, how a fraction of folks' projects and decisions are going to affect them. So mine is completely on the residents.
Thank you. And we would be asking questions from the audience, but we only got one and I already asked it, so. So it's time now for your closing statements. We'll go in reverse order. We'll start with Ms. Noe.
All right.
And you have 1 minute. You can answer whatever questions you didn't feel like got asked or whatever you've prepared.
In conclusion, I would like to say once again, I'm a second-generation lifelong LaPortean running for the LaPorte City Council at large. I'm a former local business owner, former director of the American Red Cross. I previously worked in the accounting department at the Swanson Center and currently work for LaPorte Community School Corporation and LaPorte Parks and Recreation. Honesty, integrity, responsibility, transparency, and representation are all key in everything I do. And I intend to carry that forward if I am chosen to represent the people of our community on the LaPorte City Council. I will make sure as your council person that the city will be spending your tax dollars on things we need, not just on things we want. I will listen to you, LaPorte, and work with you to get LaPorte back on track and stay on budget. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you, League of Women Voters, for providing this forum. Good night.
Thank you. Mr. Frankie?
I stand behind the work we've done in the last 4 years, and I think that there's still plenty of work to be done. I have always been open and available to speak with anyone, and I don't think you could find somebody that hasn't been able to get in touch with me, and I will certainly continue that. But I think we've got a great team in place, and we're making accomplishments every day, and I think it's pretty evident if you just look around the city. So hopefully our residents want to continue that, and I hope for your vote.
Thank you. And Ms. Antonuski?
Oh, gosh. First of all, this is my first time running, first time in a forum, so please forgive me
You're
that I'm
doing great.
nervous as all heck. My main reason I'm running is for the community. I believe in choice when it comes to elections. I believe in transparency, communication, true representation is the key to finding positive solutions so all community members can have a better every day in LaPorte. An informed community is a strong community, and strong communities grow and thrive. I'm college educated, can research and synthesize information, and more importantly, I am willing to engage in dialogue with the community members. on policy projects that may affect their neighborhood and listen to their concerns and answer any questions I can. And if I don't have the answers, find out and get back to them. And then be able to, with that information and dialogue, that's the only way you can make an informed decision.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight at the forum and sharing your views with us. You may take your seats in the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're going to do the next. It's just you. Yes. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. So tight, sorry. Thank you. Okay, and now we have Ms. Fikes.
Ficus, Carol Maycheck Ficus.
Okay. She's running unopposed, so she's just going to make a statement. It'll be 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, my name is Carol Maycheck Ficus. I would like to thank everyone for being here tonight and to the League of Women Voters for giving us this opportunity to speak. We have many outstanding candidates that are actually running for election, and I know that I, for one, appreciate everyone taking the time out of your day to come and learn a little bit about all of us that are running and the opportunities that are in our community. I'm a LaPorte native, born and raised here. I am married to Mitch Ficus, and together we have 4 grown children and 1 amazing grandson. I am the office manager of Mitch Ficus Builders Incorporated, and I'm also the assistant manager to 3 smaller companies. I entered public service in 2014 as a member of the LaPorte City Council. I currently serve as chairperson to the Traffic Commission. I'm a member of the Finance Committee, the Newport Landing Redevelopment Corporation, and I'm also the City Council liaison to the Park Board. This is the 3rd administration that I've had the privilege to serve under, and I can tell you that this is the hardest that I've worked in almost all my 9 years on council. Mayor Dermody challenges us daily on a daily basis, and I think that makes us all better leaders. Under Mayor Dermody's guidance, the current council has tackled many of the challenging issues that have been overlooked for years: drugs, outdated infrastructure, affordable housing opportunities, and mental illness, just to name a few. I have seen a change for the better in this community, and I am proud to say that I've helped, hopefully at least in a small way, to facilitate these changes. I'm excited to continue to improve our city over the next 4 years. Again, thank you to the League of Women Voters and those here tonight. Without your support, we can't do what we do.
Thank you so much. And I think that Laura. Okay, great.
Another tough last name.
And that was for the second word. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Okay. And now we have Laura
Konechny.
Thank you.
Sure.
We even practiced it, and I still screwed it up. Okay. Is a Republican candidate running for the 5th Ward. There's one other Democratic candidate who's also running, but he's not present tonight, and that's Joseph Brzezinski. And we'll begin with your opening statements since there's no other candidates here.
Very good. Well, good evening. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Access LaPorte County as well as the League of Women's Voters for putting on this forum this evening. My name is Laura Konechny, and I'm the current councilwoman for the 5th Ward of the city of LaPorte. I was sworn in November of 2020 after being accepted via caucus. I'm proud of the many accomplishments that we've attained over the past 3 years, but there's more work to be done. My platform remains the same from the last term moving into the next. I have 4 main objectives. The first one is public safety. The current administration was a huge advocate of the public safety lit, which those funds were able to help us offer competitive wages to not only recruit additional personnel, but retain the fantastic men and women that we already had on staff. We also were able to hire a social worker to help with some of the mental illness calls that were coming into the department, hired a civilian evidence tech that allows our officers to actually go out and do the boots on the ground type of work, and the introduction of a paramedicine program. The second component is continuing to improve our infrastructure. The 100-year-old antiquated infrastructure was first targeted and started in Monroe Manor, where we completed a sewer separation and road reconstruction project. Our focus now is shifted over to the lighter number streets, specifically I Street, where the same type of work is being performed to help alleviate floodings and basement backups. Other infrastructure improvements that are targeted are looping dead-end mains and improving water quality and fire protection. The third component is housing options from all. The Banks has been a wildly successful resort-style apartment complex. Habitat for Humanity homes have gone vertical in future additional developments. I'm short on time. The fourth issue is addressing mental health and opioid addiction with the help of our social worker and our partnership with HealthLink, Geminus Corporation, and the trustees' offices.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the wards that's present here tonight? We've had a couple people cancel. So next is the mayor of LaPorte. Okay, and since it is for the mayor, the other candidate is not available. However, we will go ahead and ask some questions after he does his 2-minute opening statement. So if you have questions you'd like to ask him, please get them to the runner so we can get them to the screeners.
And I'd also like to offer the public here to ask questions. I think transparency is something we ran on. We love it. My cell phone's available 24/7. And I think it's important that all of us can ask all the candidates questions, and they should have to answer in a public view. So, you know, when I was here 2019, in fact, I brought my card. I love my hometown. We're gonna have 4 standards, setting high standards in all we do, expect to win, competing with the best, restore community pride, and public safety as a top priority. And as you look at these 4 things, and nothing is easy. Every candidate can sit here and tell you what you want to hear, but difficult decisions. Number 1, when we talk about setting a high standard, number 1, living within our means. We lose 30% of our revenue, budget revenue, to the property tax caps, which are extremely important to seniors, and I fully support for low-income individuals. But we, not like a business, we can't cut services. We still provide all our services to our community. But we have to think outside the box, think in a different way, and for the first time in yet the history of LaPorte, we are going to have a structurally balanced budget across all our funds. We have also done infrastructure, as Mr. Frankie has said, $100 million problem that has a 100-year-old infrastructure system. We're the ones that have done Monroe Manor. We went after low-income area because they deserve the best. We now are doing I Street. We have done roads, the worst roads in LaPorte, Truesdale, Boyd, all the roads that we heard from our residents, we have repaired, fixed, improved. And I'll tell you, we talk about availability. I am 24/7 available on my cell phone. We'll continue to expect council members, whether it's a tree at 2 in the morning, whether it's a drug situation at 7 a.m., you have to be accessible, available in the community every single day.
Other than you're the incumbent,
Yes.
what do you consider your major qualifications for this office?
I love this community. I grew up in LaPorte. I came back to LaPorte. My kids graduated from LaPorte, and there is real opportunity in our community to be special. We're an hour from Chicago, and for some reason we lost that pride where people say, oh, this is for Chicago people, or, you know, you hear the wonderful people that tell truths on social media. When did we ever think that our residents don't deserve the best? Because they do. And so when we heard day one, quality of life, there's nothing to do in LaPorte, we committed to that. That's why on day one, across from the YMCA, when an apartment complex was ignored for 26 years, we went Code enforcement went and say no more. The drug dealers, the violent activities that were going on, this administration, this council went in and said no more. And we now, have not had one police call, one fire call in our community at that facility, and people can live in safe housing. And we found housing for other individuals. We also had the U.S. Marshals come in and take away those hiding out in different parts of our apartments. The drug dealing 2 Thursdays ago, saying individuals, one being a person I went to school with, doing meth a block away from an elementary school. It's not acceptable, and you have to be willing to make tough decisions, not just tell people what they want to hear, to change for the future and make this community special like we all believe that it is.
Thank you. How will the annex of 39 North District impact the current LaPorte residents?
So that's an interesting one. On day one, when I was asked from our water department, members of 39 North saying, well, what are you going to do about the water problem? And I said, why do I care about 39 North? I didn't know enough about it. Well, if you look back 2010 and all the information at 39 North, that the infrastructure was not kept up, nothing was done. So as the development of 39 North happened, nothing was done to keep up the infrastructure. So I said, well, what does that mean? Well, if we have a fire, 2 fires at the same time at 2 houses, you have to pick one to take out, the other will burn. Now I will tell you, and maybe the new candidates will be able to turn their head on that type of situation and ignore it, but we've gone out and said, look, we can't allow with our services for something of that nature to happen. Number 2, we said in 2017 the city of LaPorte was not going to provide services to non-residents anymore. So either annex will solve your problem, or we're taking our water to focus on our residents. And as you can see, residents, businesses have supported 39 North and the annexation there. And our residents want to see growth. Our residents want to see development. When you can't build another house, when people want housing and options in 39 North under the current situation, there's a problem.
Kind of going along that housing issue, what would you do to increase the availability of affordable housing here in LaPorte?
Well, we're doing that now. We've looked at Tibma Bakery, Don George, and it comes back to pride. No one ever talked about, what are we going to do with Tibma Bakery? What are we going to do with the Don George building? We demoed that property. What are we going to do with 701 Maple Ave? Everybody just accepted it. What are we going to do about the landlords for years, slumlords, that have made people live in housing situations with bed bugs? Where are the trustees when this was going for 20 years and we just kept ignoring it? We went in, knocked down the door, said, hey, no more. We have one landlord, slumlord, that sold 80 of their 100 properties since we've taken over, because we will not accept anything less than the best. So when you talk about affordable housing, Tibma Bakery removed, Habitat for Humanity is there now. We need housing of all types, and we are working not only on high-end housing, workforce housing, but also we need to make space for affordable new housing. But I'm shocked that no one wants to continue to clean up the current housing that we have on Maple, Harrison, Jefferson. And I wonder how many people have really walked those homes and see what type of living conditions they're in, because we have all day, all night, and say no more. And if you can't make these improvements, we will condemn the home until you do.
Thank you very much. And now it's time for your 1-minute closing statement.
I mean, am I available if we got a lot of time, if the public wants to
No,
ask?
we really want our screeners to have the chance to look at the questions first, so if that's
Okay,
all right.
well, they can ask me anything. I believe we've made great progress for every resident in the city of LaPorte. That comes with making difficult decisions. but we are accessible, available 24/7. And transparency, we knock doors. I'm out with the people every single day. In fact, run a tracker on how often I'm in my office versus being out and about in the communities. We're going to continue to work on roads, sidewalks. Take a look at Lincoln School now, around Lincoln School with the sidewalks that we've put in. We have more work to do, but my love and passion for this community will continue, and I'm the right person for this job at the right time, and believe I deserve and I'm ready to be reelected.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
That concludes this candidates forum sponsored by the League of Women, Women Voters of LaPorte County and Access LaPorte County. Our next one will be next Wednesday, October 11th at the Michigan City Hall for the candidates for Michigan City municipal elections. We remind you to go ahead and check on the Vote 411 if you are a candidate. Make sure you get your information up there. And thanks to everyone very much for coming out tonight. Thank you.